Hello, and welcome to the CSGO Pro Podcast. This is episode 2. I'm Tyler, and I'm joined today by Sid, because due to technical difficulties, Livemis will not be joining us for quite a while. But recently, over the past week, it was no stories, no nothing really. It was just couple, semi-pro teams having some games. And then what went down yesterday was huge. Fnatic, one of the best teams in the world, they won ESL 1 Katowice, ESL 1 Cologne in a row in 2015. They traded to Godsent, the team where Pronax, former player of Fnatic and in-game leader, switched to when he was picked up. And they traded JW, Flusha, and Crims. And this means a lot of things. They said it was because recent tournaments they haven't been finishing as good. So it just impacts the league so much. Now Godsent has Fnatic's spot in the next major, which is going to happen in January. Sid, I want to know what you think about Fnatic's future. Do you think they're going to be way worse? Do you think they're just going to drop
off? Yeah, I think I think they'll probably turn out like Cloud9. Cloud9 used to be a really strong team. Yeah, exactly. But I think they're going to drop in the ranks and how much they win a lot, because losing 3 of the best players in the world, it's a pretty big deal.
Not only that, they lost the spot. Yeah, they lost the spot in the major, and they already dropped to number 10 in the rankings.
Mm-hmm. From what were they, 3?
Yeah,
2?
they were in the top 5, definitely. I think they were 3 or 4, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
That's crazy. It's mind-blowing, that Fnatic would do this. Because I know they haven't been, winning recently in tournaments, but they still have gained, decent... Yeah, they still got decent prize money from the recent tournaments. But, yeah, but what do you think of, what's-his-face? The 5th member of Godsent that never played for Fnatic, really. Zenager. I really don't know how to pronounce it, but, do you think he's going to fit in?
I think he will. I think they're going to need a lot of getting used to, professionally, especially because it's a completely different team. Yeah. Yeah,
because it's just, when you had Olaf, he was pretty good. He was very flexible, I guess you would say. He could play sniping, scouting. He had many different attributes that he could do. But you know what's a crazy fact about this? That back in 2013, the first ever CSGO major, they won with JW, Flusha, what's-his-face? Crims, and Zenager. They were all on the same team, but the only person they were missing was Devilwalk. But eventually they changed up the lineup. Fnatic was winning, and then they started not winning, so they went their separate ways. And now they're sort of reunited with their old in-game leader. And I have a question for you. That do you think Pronax can help work Zenager into the lineup better? Do you think his skill set?
Pronax is a very strong leader, so I think he can do pretty much anything that they need him to do for them to be as strong as they were on Fnatic.
Yeah, because Pronax can just engineer things. He's not one of the best sort of players, but as a leader and as a strategist,
he has the best mindset of the game.
Yeah, definitely. That was part of Fnatic's success, because he could organize strategies and plays. That's how they discovered Boostmeister. That was Pronax's genius. Mm-hmm. Which, eventually kind of,
Well, genius, you say.
Very controversial.
Yeah.
But, the lineup was working, especially with Pronax. Because Pronax, everybody found their own spot in the team. That's how a team would click.
Mm-hmm.
And that's crazy. And because of this, a lot more things happened. Where the wildcard matches, Godsent lost to Virtus Pro, which Virtus Pro has been really good recently. And,
they sure have.
And there's more things with Virtus Pro, how Olaf is friends with Pasha. Do you think Olaf could eventually go to Virtus Pro?
Oh, man. I think Virtus Pro's roster right now is very strong.
Yeah, I don't think they would change it because they've been winning.
I don't think they would, but if they were going to, I think Olafmeister would be a very strong addition, because... again, one of the best players in the world, coming from Fnatic. I think they would make their team even stronger than it already is.
Yeah, definitely. But Pasha's a pretty big household name. He's a star player, but recently he hasn't been pulling his weight as much. It's been Bialy and Neo. They've been carrying. Snacks has been he's Snacks. He's really good.
Yeah.
But in the recent matches, it's just Pasha's either under or he's even KD. They're winning, but it's not because of him.
Right.
And it's just like maybe it could be the other way around. And what if Pasha went to Fnatic if Fnatic starts losing, which I expect them to because of their new lineup.
Yeah, I don't really think that Pasha would fit in on Fnatic.
Yeah, I
don't know
don't
about,
think so.
He might with the new roster, but I don't think he would with the old roster, you know?
Definitely not.
No.
But I mean,
he seems more of a...
Yeah, I think Dennis is going to carry because Dennis is really good. Like, I mean...
Oh, for sure, yeah. Well, that's why they got him in the first place. Why Fnatic picked him up.
Yeah. Just Fnatic, I don't know what they were thinking with this. I mean, they weren't winning, but they weren't losing. They qualified for every tournament. They were in the top 8. They were in the top 4 last time. But they weren't winning. They were just sick of losing in the finals. Sort of like sick of choking, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, it's just... I don't think they should switch it up. It was just like when Pronex quit because they won 2 majors in a row. It was just they just didn't do good that one major. And then Pronex just, it was too soon.
It was. Yeah, I think there were more reasons because on the article it said that being with the team for so long and that minor problems with the team can expand into major problems. So I think it's better for them that they all split up, or some of them at least. I think that's one reason that Pronax left.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And I don't think it was just the fact that they came in 8th place at a major.
It's like the more you cook a dish, the more likely it is to be burnt. Like it's if they stay too long, esports is just ever changing. Other teams are messing with their lineups. That's part of the reason why Envious isn't doing good. They've had like the same lineup for forever.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
They lost a mouse.
They just got, yeah.
They lost a mouse.
I think that is a team. They're a very strong team, but I think they could probably use some newer, fresher players.
Definitely. But I mean, Godsent, the team is now basically Fnatic. They have 3/5 majority of the trade, so now they have Fnatic's spot in the next tournament, and they're already qualified.
Exactly.
That's crazy. If Fnatic lost 2 ways here in this trade, and here are the ways. 1, they lost very good players, and 2, they lost their spot. So now they're going to have to qualify.
Exactly.
And I think that they just screwed over Dennis and Olive, because they worked hard to get into the next tournament. They didn't win, but they got qualified, and now they have to qualify again. It's just, I would be pretty pissed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if they completely screwed them over, because we haven't seen their complete... skill.
That's true.
With Olaf and Dennis with the new roster. They could be a very, I wouldn't say as strong, but they can be possible that it is going to be a strong team. Just like Fnatic was.
Yeah.
Probably not as dominant.
They don't have the skill set.
Exactly.
But I mean, it's not like they're going to completely suck. They still have Olive and Dennis, but I mean, they're definitely not going to be as good as they were.
As Fnatic, you know.
Yeah, they don't have walls.
Exactly. That's why Godsent's going to do so good.
Yeah. But I think Fnatic in their future, I think they're going to qualify for the next tournament, but I don't think they're going to get very far.
Yeah, maybe quarterfinals.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll get past that. If
they're just too new. They got to settle in, but they have 7 months until January, but I mean, still I think that's premature.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's just Fnatic. Adjusting to a new roster isn't like instant. Everybody's got to find their place, basically.
Got to get used to playing with new players, learning the teammates, their play style, and adjust your play style to fit theirs.
Yeah, that's true. Because if you can't adjust your play style, then like how are you supposed to play with other players? You have to make it adjustable if you want to work as a team. Which is very
Everyone
true.
has to play in the same mindset.
Yeah. It's if everybody's not on the same page, you're going to get miscommunications, which is the worst, because if you just lose on not being quick enough, that's a lot better than losing because you guys accidentally, miscommunicated with each other.
Yep.
That's just the whole thing about this. Like, I think the Godsent's going to click a lot better than the new Fnatic will.
Yeah, I think they will too.
Because they're reuniting with Pronex.
And we mentioned miscommunicating. I think the same thing happened to Cloud9 before they made their major roster changes.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons they stopped doing as well as they used to, because
Eco would carry a lot with Shroud.
Yeah. I just think that like what happened to them is they just didn't communicate. I think they made the right choice, for sure, changing their roster as much as they did.
Mm-hmm. I think Fnatic, like, I remember when they played Envious, that was like a really interesting match to watch, and then Envious beat them with their old roster. But now Envious is in like a really bad funk. So like I think the new Fnatic roster, a good test would be them facing Envious.
I think it would as well, yeah.
Because Envious is off their game, and they could like try to click and see what they could do to beat Envious, like players who were once in the spotlight, they won a major, and then it was all downhill. Maybe Fnatic can start going uphill with this new roster. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. I got you.
What do you think about what do you think about Kenny S, like, recently? Like, he has just not been doing good.
He's definitely not been playing as good as everyone, not just we. I mean, everyone knows that he's definitely was one of the best operators in the world, but definitely not been on his game at all.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It was just maybe they let it get to their heads because they won a major. Oh, yay, we're really good. Well, I mean, you still have to try really hard. It's just
yeah.
I
agree. Yeah, it probably was some of that.
Yeah, that's how I bet on the next tournament. I bet on Mouse Sports over Envious, even though only 38% did, and Mouse Sports won because Envious just could not handle them. They lost. That was actually before. That was just a 1-game match. I think it was Train, and it was just Kenny S was bottom fragging for a lot of the game.
Yeah, and they haven't been giving him the op as much lately because he just hasn't been on his game.
And dude, it's I know it's a team sport, but I mean, when you have 1v1 on positions, like Chris J's the opera for Mouse Sports, right? Chris J and Nico were like taking turns top fragging that game.
Yeah.
Just Kenny couldn't compete. It's just that's why Envious is just going down, and I think Mouse Sports is gonna have a better chance at next tournament.
I think they're gonna have a really good shot.
Yeah.
A lot of teams are, slipping. I think they all need to get some fresh new players, not new to the game, but I mean new to the pro
from
scene.
Other teams. Yeah. Chemistry.
Not from other teams, just streamers,
Yeah.
YouTubers even. They were FaZe Clan when they were first getting their team. We're gonna recruit Mojo on PC.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's got a lot of following and he's pretty good at the game too. I mean, like it's pretty good on both sides.
Yep. I don't think recruiting a comedic YouTuber like himself would be the best idea. Because if you watch his videos, he doesn't exactly try his hardest. But I think some good YouTuber choices would be Hatton Games, Nick Bunyan, Banana Gaming. All these players, they're all very skilled. Sparkles.
Dang.
I think all of those YouTubers could make a strong difference on pretty much any team in the pro scene.
Yeah, they would definitely just, like, I think it would be more of they throw the other teams off their game because they haven't prepared for it. Like, once you get new players, they're not ready. Like, they prepared, for this one specific lineup, how to counter all the players, and then you switch it up, they're just not ready.
I agree.
I think that's how Gambit beat Astralis and all the teams in their division, because they're already in the next major, and then they got destroyed in the quarters. But I mean, still, they made it to the quarters. They won the division over Astralis and Dignitas, which is crazy. It's just Gambit isn't even that good of a team. It's just they adjusted. They played really good for a couple matches, and then after that, like, they got to the quarters, they were just like, they're out of gas, basically.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's exactly why they didn't take off. Because they had, like, the people to do it. Dren was doing good on their team and everything. Gambit it's just they don't have the firepower after. They play hard, really, like, finals type for a while. Then after that, they're just done.
Yeah, they just don't go with, 100% as people know they can.
Especially, they start thinking they're really good, and then once they actually face, like, an SK or a team like that, then they're just done. I think a lot of teams, like, they can have the skills and stuff, but I mean, if they stop believing that they're good, then it's gonna, like, impact them, because a lot of people just get off their game because they think they're in a funk, even though they're not. They just think they are. It's all in their head.
It is. Playing bad it's all in your mind. If you have a bad mindset, you're gonna play bad. And if you're discouraged about a previous major or your team not doing as well as they can be, and you're playing in a major at the time when you're feeling that way, you definitely will not play as good as everyone knows that you will be able to play.
That's true. That is extremely true. But I mean, the one exception I would say, what about Simple? He yells at his teammates a lot and stuff.
Well, that's we just won't need to talk about him anymore.
Let's just forget that thing.
Yeah, let's just not.
But I mean, I heard you earlier were talking about FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan today, they announced that they will be signing Alu to their team, and he'll be replacing Fox. And Fox wasn't even that great of a player, so
but Alu is a great player.
Yeah, and it's just gonna make their team so much better. Because, well, I mean, he's just got more talent than Fox. Fox is, I guess he's a pro player, but I mean, compared that to Alu, Alu's gonna win.
He's more experienced.
Yeah. He's just better.
He is all around, pretty much, yeah.
I would love to see a VP SK in the next major, but I mean, why are we waiting so long for a major? There's only been 2. Yeah. It's just so disappointing.
I think a better time for a major would have been in November, maybe December.
Yes, definitely.
Like, a little sooner than January, really.
This is the first time since 2013 there's only been 2 in a year. And I mean, this is, like, CS at its biggest point. Like, CS is only going up. It's not going to stay, like, the same. But I mean, now it is because they're just not progressing far enough.
Exactly.
And it's just really disappointing because I would love to see these teams face right now. They've got perfect lineups. Fnatic just traded their team. It would be great storylines. Not just great plays, but it would be great storylines. You know what the team we haven't talked about that's really good recently?
Who's that?
G2. Scream.
Scream. Well, not much has been happening with them that much.
Well, I mean, what happened last tournament? How did they lose, like, in consecutive days?
Yeah, I know. I feel like they're, like we said, a slump. I think they're in they could possibly be in a slump.
Yeah, they're still number 3 in NESL.
You don't hear much about them that much lately, but even though they are, one of the best teams, you don't hear as much about Scream as you would when he was on Titan.
Yeah, definitely.
When there was a Titan.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
FaZe has just been getting a lot of good players because they originally had.
I think they're going to turn out a very good team.
Yeah, they beat Fnatic last time, but I mean that was sort of like a fluke, and then Fnatic made it anyways.
Right.
And Fnatic eventually made it to the semis, and then Liquid beat them, even though 83% of people said it was going to be Fnatic anyways. I picked Liquid anyways because I knew Liquid was doing crazy good, and Fnatic stopped believing themselves. They haven't been doing good recently in the majors. It's just they were in a mini slump, I would say. Like they weren't doing bad, but they weren't winning. They were in the middle.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, that was part of the reasons what they said on Twitter about the departure of their 3 teammates, which Fnatic, that was a bad move. It's just a bad move.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely more of a bad move than it was a good move, but I think they definitely need the new roster because same with I think it was the right choice. Especially for me being not the biggest Fnatic fan. I think it was a good choice.
A lot of people hate them because their favorite team loses to them, like a lot.
I think that's what it was because they would always dominate over my old favorite team, Cloud9.
Oh yeah.
They would always.
I like Liquid now for a North American team.
Yeah.
Because they can actually win the games.
Well, yeah.
I mean, they're choke artists, but at least they get far. Cloud9 can't make it out of the groups. He's only done that once, and that was with Hiko. Yep. And yeah, in Fnatic's statement, you said about being together on a team for a long period means that small issues can turn into big issues. And then they said it can, like, what was it? It can weed their way into fundamental team dynamics, affecting the chemistry. Because if you have the same old, nothing changes, then once teams, like, get you down pat and they know what you're going to do, then you're stuck there.
Yep. You need new blood.
That's a very good point. Because Fnatic, they had this same roster since Pronax left, which was with Dennis. But I mean, that wasn't even that big of a change. It was just one player. No. And the organization.
I think Dennis was the right move, though. He was.
Yeah.
A great pick.
He was carrying G2.
Strong player.
Yeah, he was carrying the old G2, which turned into FaZe.
Mm-hmm.
And then FaZe had their spot already in the next major. But, yeah, it was just crazy. I remember back in Clutch and Poca when G2 did crazy good, and that was the old G2.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a lot because of Dennis, and that's why Fnatic signed them. But, I mean, I think they just had too many superstars, and it did get to their heads. Like, Fnatic is very tactical, like, oh, we got to take it one game at a time, but then eventually they kept winning, so it's like, it's another tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you think about all these mini tournaments? Do you think that's going to help them, like, get into a groove, the new Fnatic? Or do you think it's going to help Godsent more?
Playing in smaller tournaments would definitely, the new roster, definitely get them used to playing with each other and, like I said, learn how each other play.
Yeah. Because they have to figure each other out and what works. But, I mean, they can't just do the same old, same old. They got to find multiple strategies. I forgot to read in the release, who's going to be the new IGL? It might be someone from Godsent. It could be.
I think it might be.
Olive's not really an IGL type. Dennis.
Yeah.
Actually, Dennis could be the new IGL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it didn't stay in their press release. It didn't say that anybody was the new IGL.
I think Crims might have a good shot at being in the IGL, though.
For Godsent?
Yes, for Godsent.
What if it was just Pronax again,
I don't know how many times I'm going to say for Fnatic.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
That's going to be a hard transition to make.
Definitely. They haven't played yet. Godsent just started playing against VP, and VP is a really good team right now, so they were outmanned.
They were.
Yeah.
And VP hasn't been changing their roster much lately.
Yeah, and Zanajir only had, he was 0-0-5 the first 6 rounds, and I was like, he needs to pick up the pace.
Yeah.
Because I saw it on the app and everything, and it just seemed like he's not fitting in yet. But, I mean, it was only their first game. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams need to balance the skill more. Because on a lot of teams, we've mentioned that 1 or 2 players have to carry their team.
Yeah.
And I think that needs to be solved. I understand roles. Some people might not get as many frags because their role is not entry fragging, or their role may be opping and sniping, and you get less kills with those weapons. But I think they need to balance the roles between certain players on.
Yeah, you can't just have one person carry, because then they're just gonna like burn out eventually. What are your teammates do then? Like
exactly, when that person's not performing on their game, what is the rest of the team gonna do?
Exactly, because a team has to work as a team. That's why they're a team. Like, it's all about the team.
Exactly.
And that's what makes a team good. Like, Fnatic was clicking back when they had Pronax and everybody, and they were winning a lot. And now as Godsent, I think they're going to do just that, winning again, because they've got a good IGL. I think it's Pronax because he's called strats before.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, Dennis is probably, I don't know. It's just really confusing. They don't really have a strat caller on the new Fnatic.
Exactly.
That's just really weird. But I mean,
I think they need time to decide who is the correct choice.
Definitely.
For calling strats with almost an entirely brand new team.
Yeah. Definitely. But I mean, what's it called? In the match, Godsent versus Virtus Pro. In the second map, Fnatic was up 9-6 at the half, and then they blew a lead and they lost.
Right.
Which is very disappointing, especially with the new team. That's crazy, because they just started out, literally that day, they traded, and they're like, oh, we're going to go play for Godsent. And it was so sudden. It just seemed really forced. But I mean, Fnatic, they lost a lot. They just lost a lot. That's what I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But I have another question here. So, Virtus Pro's been good. Fnatic was good. Now the Godsent's going to be good in the tournament, hopefully. Liquid has lost Simple. That was last time on the podcast.
Right.
And now Pimp is just not many people know much about him.
Right.
Do you think Pimp will find his place in Liquid like Godsent can try and find their places together?
I think he does have a shot at, doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you think it was smart for them to go with such a new player over like finding a player from a different team that could help them?
Well, like I said, like a lot before, new players could be probably be better because they're new to the scene, they're fresh, they know the game just as well as the other
Yeah.
guys do. But on the downside, they don't know as much about playing as a pro and how much of a responsibility being on a team or being in a certain role could affect their gameplay.
What if I titled this podcast "Fnatic Failed"? Because they majorly failed in this trade.
Wouldn't be false. It'd be 100%
That's true. Yeah, they said it's an end to an era, but I mean, it's not the beginning of anything yet. Nobody knows what's going to happen.
That's for sure.
It's just they don't have much going on right now. They got to work out everything with this new team. That's gonna take who knows as long. They got 7 months, which is a lot of time, but it's just even those 7 months. Will they have the skills? Do you think they'll have the skills to face against other teams like a Navi or an SK?
Navi and SK probably not. But
what do you think's the team at their level besides Envious? I would say Envious is at their team level right now.
Yeah, I would agree.
Do you think there's any other teams like down there, down in that pit?
Yeah. Cloud9. Yeah.
They're the punching bag of CS.
Oh yeah, I think. Yeah. Pretty sure everyone would agree with that.
Yeah.
Except for Cloud9.
Cloud9 agrees with it too.
Yeah.
Basically, because Cloud9 is just they're Cloud9.
Yeah. They describe themselves.
Yeah, I don't know why that's even a team now. They should go their separate ways. They're not working good as a team.
I know. They could use. I think dropping the whole roster and dropping the team. Cloud9 in general, or trading and just putting some
trading
different players.
Is a great idea, actually. I think trading with other teams like Fnatic did, except Fnatic, they completely messed up. Dude, Cloud9 would be jealous of Fnatic's success, even though Fnatic thought they were doing bad.
Yeah. I think Cloud9 would be happy if they were playing as good as Fnatic was.
Yeah, even though Fnatic said...
Compared to how they are playing.
I don't even know if they're playing, really.
Yeah, I know.
But dude, what if Pimp, I don't like doing hypothetical situations that much, but I think this could be a reality. What if Pimp didn't play very good? Like, he's new, he might go down to a sub. What if Shroud, who's fed up with Cloud9, joined Liquid? What would you think about that?
Shroud?
Yeah.
On who?
Liquid, instead of Pimp.
Oh. I think that would be a very strong move, because Shroud would definitely not be a sub. He would 100% be a starter. Very strong player. Great aimer.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a pretty weird move. I mean, it's American team to American team, so it probably wouldn't be that awkward for him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's closer to that being a reality than any other team, because all the other teams are like, SK's from Brazil, Virtus.pro's Polish, but they're both American teams, so I think that could actually happen, especially because Hiko's his former teammate.
Yeah, I think he would feel somewhat at home.
Yeah, because Hiko, great teammate. He's a very good player, too. Shroud's a very good player, but I mean, the rest of Cloud9 that is still on the team is just not good.
I feel like everyone can make their place in a different team, except for Slimmy.
Slimmy's just he needs to be a coach, not a player.
Yeah, I think he should switch to being a out of game coach. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just he's not good player. He's good strats, but not good player.
Yeah. I mean, there's only one thing that you can say about it. I mean, there's not much else. They need to just split up. They can all be a huge help on different teams, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it about Cloud9. They just need to split up.
Yeah.
Cloud9 doesn't need to disband the team in general. I think it just needs fresh blood, like we were saying before.
Yeah,
it just needs
definitely.
to be a brand new team.
They do need a brand new team. They've just been stuck for a while. And it's just, they're not going anywhere.
Shroud, Skadoodle, Stewie2K, and Nothing could all use better teams.
I agree with that.
I think, actually, if some of them went to Fnatic, they would play somewhat decent, but they would definitely need to be under a brand new IGL and not not Slemmy or Nothing or anyone that's already been an IGL for the team that hasn't worked out. It needs to be someone new that they don't exactly, quote unquote, know as much. I think it needs to be a brand new.
I agree with that totally. But I mean, dude, there's another thing that's about to happen, I guess you would say. Season of E-League, it's coming up. ESL, did I say E-League? ESL Pro League, that's what I meant to say. It's starting soon, and Virtus Pro made it in from the wild card and stuff. Which team do you think can, have success in it?
Who are the teams then again?
Virtus Pro's in. I'm pretty sure
Virtus
NIP
Pro.
is in. Here, I'm pulling it up right here.
Alright.
Oh yeah, there's North American teams too. Yay.
Oh.
You've got Team Liquid. Oh, it goes for North America and South America. You got SK.
Right. Brazilians.
You've got tons of great EU teams. You got Astralis, FaZe, Flipside, Fnatic, G2, Hellraisers, Penta, Team X, Virtus Pro, NIP, Team Dignitas, Envious, Navi, G2. A lot of teams. But it's weird because that the wildcard winner, which was, what was it called? Virtus Pro, they made it in. And Godsent isn't even in it. But what's it called? New Fnatic is. So that'd be a great opportunity to prove themselves, especially against teams like Winter Fox and stuff. Those teams aren't really that great.
Right.
And there's still one more wildcard match to be decided, but other than that, they've got great matches coming up. A really good match that's coming up tomorrow, Cloud9 and Liquid.
Oh, that's not a good match. That's just... Oh my gosh.
It's a beatdown.
I can't say the word that I think that is.
But I mean, like, maybe it'll convince Shroud that Liquid's way better and he could have a chance.
That he could be on a way better team.
Also, it's a good test for Pimp.
Do you have any score predictions for that game?
Depends on the map, but I mean, if it was just going to be a score, I would say Liquid like 16-8. It's going to be a big blowout.
You're going to be that generous to Cloud9?
Yeah, it could be like 16-0 even. They're not very good.
I don't think it would be 16-0, but I think it would definitely be 16-3, 4, or 5.
I mean, Liquid's beat old Fnatic. They've come close on SK twice. And Cloud9 hasn't done any of those things.
Hey, here's how I think it's going to go down, okay? Cloud9's going to lose the pistol round. They're going to win their first save round. They're going to win the round after the save round, their first buy round, and that's going to be the last round they win for the whole game.
Dang.
It's going to be 2-1, Cloud9. They're going to think they have hope, and then Liquid's just going to destroy them.
Yeah, because
that's what I think is going to happen.
It's going to be 16-2.
I mean,
it could be because Cloud9's not very good.
No, they're not.
Maybe this will make Cloud9, like the people who own them, the players even, realize that they can't compete against anybody. And it's over. Yeah. They need to change something up.
They just need some trades.
Yeah. Like, they're not even trading. It's just who's managing their team. It's not even working. But, yeah. Another team that originally, what's it called? Or it came from COD. I almost said, like, Hearthstone or something. Yeah. COD, Optic Gaming, and... FaZe came over here too. Their team is okay, I guess you would say, but they're facing many good teams recently. And do you think they can improve? Because FaZe has gotten actually very good among their short time in CS so far.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, just because it's the team doesn't mean that the players aren't experienced.
Exactly.
They brought on very strong players.
Yeah. It would be great when the matches eventually come up where it's them versus FaZe. That'd be great. But recently they're going to face Complexity, then Liquid, which they're probably going to get destroyed. This is going to be a good one that actually will come close. Cloud9 versus Optic.
All right, I will give Cloud9 that one. Okay.
I say Cloud9's going to win, but it's going to be close.
Not a strong team at all.
Yeah.
16-13.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It was going to be sort of like a SKG2 score, but I mean, they're not as good as either of those teams.
Right, those teams are way out of their league.
They're way out of their ESL Pro League. But I mean, they're scheduled to play, and I can't wait to see how that goes down. It just, I feel bad for Cloud9 because they have to play Liquid first, and if they lose like a lot, it's going to be in their mindset for like the rest of the season.
Oh, well, I mean, it's going to be like that no matter what, I believe. I think. I mean... They're gonna get destroyed.
Ooh! At the end of the ESL Pro League, Cloud9 faces SK. Oh, that's gonna be.
No, that's just not even funny. That's just,
It's not even funny anymore.
it's not. I mean, for real. I mean, it would that I think would be a 16-0,
Both.
16-0
I
game.
think so too.
There's a possibility.
What if SK pulls a iBuyPower and they bet on themselves to lose?
I don't even think Cloud9 would have a chance then.
Yeah, they lose when they're paid to win. But
Oh man.
this Pro League's gonna be great. I mean, like it's one of the good things you can look forward to when they scheduled a major back in January. But I mean,
Right.
yeah, because we have to wait 7 months. But I mean, now you've got this. You've got some interesting matchups among a lot of great teams.
Mm-hmm.
What's another team? Oh yeah, Splice. They're fun. But I mean, luckily, what's it called? Cloud9 only has to face against North Americans.
True. Yeah, those EU teams are
A little bit stacked.
yeah.
Navi, NIP,
OP.
Mouse.
Compared to
Yeah.
the North Americans, I think if it was a North American versus EU team, like
They're donezo.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, but here's a good matchup that actually might be close. I think I know who's gonna win here, but FaZe Envious. This starts off on Saturday. But what do you think? What do you think? Who's gonna win?
I mean, if they were playing at their prime, it would be Envious.
Yeah, but I think FaZe is gonna win because FaZe is on the up,
think-
Envious on the down, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think that FaZe I think it might be a fairly close game, maybe 5 or 6 point game. I'm not gonna try to guess the score, but I think it might be a 5 or 6 point game.
I'm gonna call it right now. I'm saying FaZe
favor.
16-11 for the first game, and then for the second game, I'm gonna say FaZe at 16-13. They're gonna be close, but I mean,
No,
FaZe is,
I would think if you say the first game is gonna end that close, 16-11. I think it might be if you think they're gonna win the second match, I think it would be more like a 16-7 or 8.
ooh, yeah, because like if they lose their first game, they're gonna be like, disparaged.
Yeah, down. Yep. It depends on the maps too.
Definitely. NIP is a team that's not like they haven't been able to win tournaments, but they haven't like lost badly. They're a very concentrated team, I guess you would say.
Mm-hmm.
And their first match is pretty tough. It's tomorrow. It's versus Virtus Pro.
Mm-hmm. Very tough match.
It's a very tough match. I'm going to say Virtus Pro is going to win this one. First match is going to be...
I agree.
Yeah, I'm saying 16-10, and then second one will be like 16-8. Because NIP is just outmatched. What do you think?
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not Envious. NIP has just been outmatched. Envious is pretty
they are a
outmatched
strong
too.
player.
Yeah,
They have a lot of strong players.
definitely.
What a while ago, it wasn't any time recent, but when before they Cloud9 got Stewie 2K, they were actually thinking about getting Get Right.
Oh, that would have been a much better idea.
It would have been a much better idea. But I think Cloud9 needs the aggressiveness that Stewie 2K brings to them.
Yeah.
But I think the team's going so.
Yeah. And back to Simple and Navi. Navi has some pretty easy matches. Actually.
Yeah.
They have Astralis, which Astralis is probably one of the best. This is coming after G2.
Yeah.
They face G2 first, which we'll call that in a sec. But then they have Flipside and Envy, and then they have new Fnatic. So, I mean,
Right.
they're probably going to go like 5-1. They could lose to G2. What do you think about Navi versus G2? This got to be close, right?
I think it's going to be a close game, but I think I'm going to call the winner Navi.
Because it's Simple.
Simple, yes. I think they're just a better team overall.
They've got 3 people who can op.
They do. So
I think
we'll
Scream's going to carry.
it's going to be a very close game.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I think it might go to overtime, honestly. It might.
I don't know about that, but I think there's definitely a possibility for it. But I think Navi will come out on top.
I think one of them is going to be 16-14, and maybe the other one won't be as close because maybe Navi will get a map that they're really good at. G2, I think they struggle on their home maps, like maps they're supposed to win. They don't win. That's what happened in the last tournament. Like, they had maps they wanted, but they still lost them.
Right.
It's just you can't do that, especially in a major, and that's why they didn't go far.
Exactly.
And they have to qualify for next major. They made it to the quarters.
Mm-hmm.
That's very disappointing, especially with all the talent they had, and they beat SK earlier that week.
Mm-hmm.
But then they lost to them. That's very disappointing. Yeah, because they're not bad, but I mean they struggle in tournaments because they can't win their own matches. Like you have to be able to win your own matches. That's like that's fundamental. If you don't win your own matches, how are you supposed to beat the opponents on their matches? Yeah. You have to play in tough situations to get better, and that's what they need to do.
Exactly.
Honestly. But I mean, there's some other good teams that are playing in North America. Actually, there's only really a handful in North America. There's SK, Liquid. Those are probably going to be the most dominant teams. Counter Logic, Hazed is like a really good player.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, their first match is against Cloud9, but it's in a few weeks. Like they start later. I have to call it. I'm calling it. It's going to be what's called Counter Logic because Hazed is just way better than all the other players on Cloud9. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, I'm probably gonna bet against Cloud9 in every match.
Yeah, same here. Never bet with Cloud9. I think Cloud9's gonna struggle so badly, even against really bad teams like WinterFox. But I mean, they're probably gonna beat WinterFox. I think it's gonna be too close though. WinterFox is really bad. Like
they are, yeah.
But I mean, I think it's gonna be too close. I don't know, because they have that match coming up in late September. Which, I mean, Cloud9 should prepare because that's a test. If they can't beat WinterFox, they need to stop. Because Cloud9 needs to they just need to do something. They haven't done anything. Like, what is something they've done forcibly? Besides Hiko leaving, he left. Like,
yeah.
Like, they haven't done anything. They're just letting their players flail around until they die. It's just, it's like they don't even care. They're just like, oh, you make us money. And then they're not making them money, so they should open their eyes.
Exactly.
It's just, I don't believe they're a powerhouse. They're just not competing. They beat Fnatic once, but that was with Hiko, and after that, you're done.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun ESL Pro season.
That was when they were at their prime, so.
Way back then, but then they've been on a downhill slope ever since.
Way back then.
But, I mean, new Fnatic has some easy matches-ish. Like, they're facing Mouse Sports. I think that's winnable. They're facing Hellraisers, which is, well, they're Hellraisers, so. Yeah. But, I mean, Lekro, Twist, and Wenton, the new Fnatic players, I think they'll find their place. But they're going to have to start listening to Dennis and Olaf. I think Dennis is probably going to be IGL. I think he can call strats.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be one of the new players. I definitely think that it's going to be
either Dennis or Olaf.
Yeah. Yes.
Because that's very true because they've been playing the best part of Fnatic, yeah. And
they've been on the top of the whole pro scene for the longest time.
Yeah.
Longer than most everyone.
That is actually a very good point because they know what it's like to win matches and they know how hard they have to work.
Exactly.
So all these new teams are going to have to figure out, like, their place.
Exactly.
And they'll eventually do it. It's just, it does take time. Maybe that's why they help Fnatic with 7 months in between the next major. They're biased for Fnatic, basically. It's the Olympic Committee all over again. But, yeah, flip side, they've got good players. They've got Waylander. Waylander came from, I believe it was Gambit. And Waylander was carrying. Was it Waylander? Wait. Do you remember old Gambit? Sid? Are you dead? Well, old Gambit, by the way, they had Waylander and World Edit, and they were working very well together. And yeah, and they all got signed by Flipside, and now they've been carrying Flipside with Shara and Markelov. They're not very good.
No.
So, do you think Flipside can actually start playing good? Like, I think they can beat Astralis. They're facing Astralis as their first match.
I think they might be able to beat Astralis, but Flipside, they're not really the best team, though.
Yeah, they're still learning.
And if I had to put them up against a team that I think would beat them, Cloud9. I'm not going to lie. I think Cloud9 would have a chance against not Astralis. Astralis would destroy them.
Astralis, yeah, definitely. Astralis would destroy Cloud9, but I mean, Flipside's players have the potential to beat Astralis, and I think Dignitas.
And what happened in that in Columbus?
Oh yeah, I remember that happening.
What was the score? It was 28-32 or something like that.
31, yeah. It's
31,
crazy.
29-31.
It's just Flipside can do it. It's just they can't blow leads. In that game, to get to overtime, they were up 12-3, and then, everything was downhill from there.
Exactly.
And that's where Flipside struggles. They just let their other opponents get into overtime too often.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Liquid.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think a lot of these teams can do pretty good. Oh, there's a really good match for Cloud9. It's on this Thursday.
Okay.
Cloud9 versus Immortals. Immortals has some sort of semi-pros, I guess you'd say.
I think that that might be a match for that Cloud9 might be able to take.
Yeah, but Zeus is on Immortals.
Oh, I think we're underestimating Cloud9 a little bit.
I mean, they haven't proven much though.
No, they haven't. You're right.
It's just people are too optimistic with Cloud9. Like, oh, they're finally gonna do it, and they didn't.
Yeah, it's kind of like in football, the Lions.
Oh, that's a whole different story.
Lions. Yeah. Oh man.
At least Cloud9 made it to the quarters once, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I think that's a winnable match versus Immortals. They just have to play really good. It's like they're not even trying because they just think they're gonna lose from the start.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, a lot of the matches they do lose from the start. Like with Liquid, they probably are.
Mm-hmm.
If Cloud9 doesn't have a positive record by the end of the season, they need to change something. And if they lose 16-0 with SK, they really need to do something.
I think that they lose.
Cut their whole team.
Get like a few rounds, I think they still need to change something.
Yeah.
I already think something needs to be changed with their team.
Like what happened with the Imperials. They dropped their whole CSGO roster.
Yeah, the entire thing, I mean.
Yeah. They need to do that with Cloud9. Like, their CSGO roster's not good. Or, I think it would be better to just trade it to other teams, because that way you're getting something in return.
I think they need to split up, though. I don't think they should stay together. I think they should all split up.
They should trade Shroud for Pimp.
I agree, yeah.
And then drop the roster.
Or just put Pimp on the onto the subs.
And then cut the whole starters.
Yeah.
I don't think Pimp's going to play well with Liquid. I just have a feeling. We'll see how he does, because he hasn't really had the chance yet to prove himself, but I mean...
Right. So we don't know yet.
Yeah. It'll be very interesting. He's a player to watch.
Yeah.
Definitely, because I think Virtus.pro is going to have a very good chance to win the EU bracket.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've just been beating everybody 2-0. They beat Godsent. Yeah. They beat Fnatic, old Fnatic again, 2-0. They're just overpowering. The only team they really can't beat is SK. So that's why I think an SK Virtus.pro would be a great match.
Mm-hmm. But SK is just they're like the new Fnatic. Like the old Fnatic, dominant over everyone.
Mm-hmm.
On the
standings, 2 majors in a row, just like Fnatic.
Almost 1,000 points for majors ahead of everyone. I mean, they're... Yeah. They're 700 points above Virtus.pro currently. And, I don't know. If it came down to Virtus.pro and SK, what do you think? What do you think? If
Virtus.pro and SK? I think if it was a 2 out of 3 match, I think Virtus.pro would win one of the maps. I wouldn't say the first one, probably the middle one, because they're good at crawling back. But I think SK would still win. They've got more firepower.
I agree.
And yeah, and that's what happened with the major. Virtus.pro beat Astralis, and then they lost to SK 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
I was really nervous because I bet on SK, and I was like, Virtus.pro actually has a good shot. Yeah, and then Gambit lost to Fnatic, obviously. And then Liquid, I guess you could call it an upset. They beat Fnatic after beating Navi 2. They had to crawl their way. But I mean, they beat Fnatic 2-0, so that was really good.
Yeah.
ESL 1 Cologne was one of my favorites. And I mean, now so many rosters are so different from them. Fnatic has basically almost a new entire roster. Godsent has Fnatic's spot. So, okay, I have a really good question, though.
Okay.
Would it be good if Fnatic qualified and got in the same division as Godsent?
I think oh man. I think Godsent would win.
I would say that too.
I think they would win.
They've got more skill.
They have the stronger side of Fnatic.
Yeah.
And by stronger, I don't mean players are better. I mean they have the majority of Fnatic on their team.
True.
So they would probably, I wouldn't say destroy. I think it would be a close match, but they would definitely win by
a healthy margin, I guess you would say.
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah, that's one of the things. And with all the brackets and stuff, it's just some of the teams you expect to do good don't do good. Like G2
Exactly.
lost 2 in a row. Envious, well, I mean, they haven't been good in a while, but they lost 2.
No, but they're a team you'd expect to do well, though. They
used to do good.
When you hear Envious, you think, oh, they're a really good team.
Yeah, but after Clutch and Poker, everybody thought they were going to be so good, and they weren't.
Mm-hmm. Everyone overestimates.
Mm-hmm. They think one tournament, that's it forever. And in reality, esports is constantly changing.
Mm-hmm.
Teams re-signing, teams, changing everything up. That's the big thing about it. And Liquid destroyed Envious, too. That was a big thing. 16-7, I saw that match. It was just... I felt so bad for Envy. And Envy got all those rounds CT. Liquid was up on T's side. So... I mean, sorry, other way around. And Liquid should have been losing. And they just destroyed them. Envy didn't win a round the second half at all. It was like Liquid in the finals against SK.
Oh, man. Let's just not talk about that. That's just...
That's another one that we don't speak about it.
Yeah, that's just... No.
Yeah. But, I mean, flip side, they won as the second seed as behind Navi because they beat NIP, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. I did not expect them to beat NIP, but, I mean, flip side showing us their potential. Like, they started out, like, a couple majors ago. They lost in the groups. They lost in the groups again, but now they're in the next tournament for sure.
Right.
And along with them and Gambit, I think Gambit versus Flipside would be a great matchup because they're both teams that have just made, like, they've qualified already for the next tournament because they were in top 8. So, what do you think? Who would win in a hypothetical matchup against Flipside and Gambit?
Gambit.
Yeah, I would say Gambit too because Flipside did drop a game to, what's it called?
Yeah.
What's the phrase? NIP, yeah. But, I mean, Gambit didn't even drop a game to Astralis. That was great.
Right.
And then they got destroyed by, what was it? Fnatic. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of obvious.
Yeah. I mean, Fnatic just, they don't give themselves enough credit. They think they're really bad, but I mean, in reality, a lot of teams would be jealous to have the success they had.
I think, they would probably die for the success that Fnatic has.
Cloud9, yeah.
Cloud9, no, that doesn't count.
That's true. It's just... Fnatic just made too many rash decisions by trading half their team, I mean. But it shows you that people get fed up really quickly, even if they were doing okay.
Right.
And I wonder who's going to get the next major, but I mean, in the next major, I think Godsent's going to get pretty far. Fnatic makes it. I think they're just going to be trying to get settled in. I don't think they're going to make it far. New Fnatic will. Mm-hmm. Not. Who do you think will make it farther in the next tournament? Team Liquid or SK?
SK.
Maybe that was a little bit too obvious, but I mean, do you think they could have a rematch in the finals?
Team, but I think it's possible, and I think SK might come out on top.
Yeah, but you know what I really want to see a rematch of? Navi SK, because Navi's got Simple. I think that's most likely going to happen if the divisions line up. Because if they're in opposite divisions.
It can happen. I still think the winner would be SK, though. I mean,
yeah, SK is just the top. They're just the top. That's plain and simple. But yeah, that's what happened last tournament, and that's what I'm predicting for next tournament. But you never know. Everything's constant change, and there's 7 months. So these rosters, a lot of them are going to be completely different in 7 months.
Right.
Do you think Cloud9 will drop their team by then?
I think they're trying too hard to not drop their team.
Do you think if they have really bad showing in the ESL Pro League, do you think they'll drop?
Yes.
I agree, too. Either that or they'll trade.
I think they should. And will they? Probably not.
It's just like Imperials. It's just you never knew Imperials as a household name, really, because they just never won anything. They just weren't good.
Right.
And Cloud9, everybody knew them because they beat Fnatic, but since then, they haven't done much.
Right.
It's just, they had one good showing. It was a one-hit wonder, basically.
Right.
But, I mean, yeah, that's how it was, and that's how it is right now. You got the top 10 teams in the world. You've got Virtus Pro. You've got, what's it called? Godsent. I almost called them Fnatic again. But, yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see a rematch of that, because I don't think Fnatic, Godsent, was really at their fullest potential.
No, not at all.
Who do you think would win in a rematch? Of what's called Virtus Pro and Godsend, because they played in Virtus Pro obviously won, but who do you think?
With a new roster?
Yeah.
I think if they had a little time to prepare themselves more, then I think they would.
Yeah.
That Godsend would be able to win.
Godsend just they traded him that very day, and then they had to play against Virtus Pro, which is one of the best teams in the world right now. Right. SK is unanimously the best team.
Yeah.
2 majors in a row, everything. Yeah. But I mean, SK hasn't won that many minors. They can, but I mean, it looks like they're focusing on majors, because majors obviously you get the most money.
Mhm.
Which is true. You get half of the million, which is a lot. Yeah. And I don't think Cloud9's going to qualify for the next tournament. I don't think they are.
I doubt it.
I think New Fnatic will qualify.
New Fnatic will definitely qualify.
I think that Counterlogic will qualify. I think that Dignitas will qualify. Because there's 8 teams, and those are 3 of them right there. I think NIP is going to qualify.
Mm-hmm.
For
I agree.
Mouse Sports, do you think? That's a tough one.
Did we say Navi and G2?
They're already in. Oh, G2's
right,
not, but G2, there you go. There's 5 right there. I think Mouse Sports will be the 6th.
Yeah.
And then you've got FaZe, which is another one that's good. So there's one more team that can qualify, and it's really tough. Envy could qualify, which is only winning like a couple matches, but I just don't think they will. Do you think Envy can qualify?
I think they have a shot, but I don't know if they will though. I just don't think they have it in them.
They're just not good enough right now. They just need to start everything over.
Take some time and just
they don't need to do rash decisions like Fnatic, but I mean they need to take some time. They need to work it out. They need to figure out what's the problem is, and if it's one single player who's not working with the team, cut that player, find a better player.
Take them out of there.
Make some trades, right?
Right.
Yeah, that'd be great. I was thinking of maybe Cloud9 trades, but I mean no one wants to trade with Cloud9.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically the news that's gone down, and that is all the time we have today for the CSGO Pro podcast. If you liked it, give us a like on SoundCloud. If you're listening to on iTunes, write us a good review. And that has been the CSGO Pro podcast. We'll see you next week. Peace out.